I'm embarrassed to tell you how I'm literally embarrassed to tell you how many times I sat down to record this podcast episode. And every time I sat down to do it, I got in front of my screen and I saw something that needed my attention and could not get to record this episode. Could not get to it. Everything that I set out to do today, in order for what I set out to do it in, did not happen. I wanted to get up, I want to record this video, and then I was going to go live because I decided that I'm going to go live on TikTok for the month of August, one time a day per the entire month. And every time I set out to do that, something get in the way of that order. So I did things out of order. Here I am. I'm recording a video. And I'm here just to show you that life does always have to be in order. But did you get the thing done? That's Life doesn't always have to be in order. Did I do all the things I said I would do? Most of it. So when I sat down to do the things that I wanted to do, I have a masterclass called How to Get People to Say Yes to Your Masterclass. So I believe in a method of launch it and tweak it later. So when I launched this masterclass, I did not know all the amazingness that was going to take place. So I decided to launch it and we go perfect what needed to perfect later. So we had links that needed to be connected. We had things that we needed to get done. So you are learning and seeing all of this thing in real time. So our back end, we have something called our success kit. Love our Say Yes success kit. Inside the kit, there is 3 amazingness that you get inside of you. First of all, you get my digital the challenge code book, and I love it because that is the number 1 best-selling book on Amazon. 3 times number 1. And inside of that book talks about the words that I use to get people to say yes to me. So when you join a masterclass, that is just compounding on top of the book. And inside of the success kit, you also get my 1-page marketing planner. Now, why is it 1 page? It's 1 page, baby, because that's all you're going to use is 1 page. Okay. We know, just like you and me, we get distracted really easy. So we don't need a plan. We don't need a marketing plan that is 10, 20, 30 pages. We don't need that. I mean, I can't even handle that. When they're talking about you need a business plan, who they talking to? Because it ain't me. Okay. So I create things that I know that my ADHD self can have, and anybody in the ADHD space that that feels like me, it ain't gonna work for me. So yeah, 1 page. The planner is 1 page. 1 page planner that literally go through what you need to know to create a framework of using those words. Now, how am I going to market those words? By using that 1 page. And by using that 1 page planner. We keep it simple over here, baby. Making money does not have to be difficult. And the third thing that inside of the success kit that you get, which is one of my favorite out of the 3, one of my favorite next to my book, is the How to Live an Extraordinary Life in Business. This audio, oh my gosh, anytime I feel out of whack, I go back to the space of this audio. It reminds me who I am, whose I am. And this is my gift to you. If you haven't grabbed the success planner, if you signed up for the masterclass but didn't grab the success planner, baby, you need to grab that. Okay, shameless plug. So now that we got that out the way, like literally, and that was not on my notes or episode for today, but I just had to tell you because that is what distracted me, because I went back. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't do my VSL video on the site. I did not do the video. So I just did a video 2 minutes ago. Just did a video. So what am I teaching you in this situation? What am I teaching? Hold on, I got to pull my chair up. Oh, okay. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, you literally in real time. You see, I build a business out loud. Literally build a business out loud. So what am I teaching you in real time? I'm teaching you is not to get analysis paralysis, not to get to the point where you are trying to build a business, but you get caught up in the what to do moment, right? I believe you launch as you go. I believe you focus on one funnel, right? One funnel to your core offer. And when you focus on that one funnel to your core offer, you perfect and tweak as you go. You're going to see that with us. We are creating one funnel, in our team and I are creating one funnel, and we're going to perfect that funnel until we go. Because when you have so many things, different funnel, different stuff that you're doing, it gets so confusing because there's so much moving part in one thing that you're selling, from the messaging, which we take care of that inside of our masterclass, but the messaging, and then you have the system. So you have this, what to say, and then you also have this system that deliver what you say. That has to be tweaked, which 90% of the time that take up my whole time. Okay. That has to be tweaked. Or if, like, I'm giving an example today. Somebody signed up to be part of the How to Get People to Say Yes to You, but we realized that this person did not get they weren't getting our all our emails. And I'm like, why are they not getting our emails? Well, the system says they're not getting our emails because they put in a wrong email address. And let me tell you what they put in. Instead of saying .com, they're putting .con. And it was a simple mistake, right? We know life happens. People are typing fast. It's 5:30 when they opt in. And I knew that. So I'm like, oh, okay, they just put in the wrong email address. And that easy fix. Well, even if I just put in M instead of the N just to correct it, the system did not. I'm like, okay, the system will send back out new emails. No. You have to delete the person and re-add them back in again. Yes. And they have to add themselves back in. You can't even do it. That's all GDRP rules. It's a pain. It is such a pain. So that's what took up my time. So I hope you can get an idea here, where the longer it takes you to go out in the world and you stay in analysis paralysis world where you're tweaking and not pushing out. Had I not launched, I would not know all of these different things that I need to tweak and shift and change in my business. Had I not pushed it out, had I not put my expertise out there in the world, I would have known what all the different moving parts of my business that I needed to fix. So when you put something out there in the world, look, everybody think it's just gonna. I love this. I gotta laugh at this because I used to think that too as well. How naive of me, right? Just how naive of me to think that when I launch a new product, when I launch something out there, the world is just gonna eat it up and there's gonna be no work, because we hear about this laptop life on the beach, sipping margarita. There's no such thing. There is no such thing. Now, I will say, would I rather do this or be at a 9 to 5, ask for someone to tell me what to do? No, I get it. But there's always little tweaks that you have to make. For example, I have been sitting at this desk since 11 o'clock. I got up to eat 2 hot dogs. And it's 6:22 and I have not left this and I have my water and I've been getting it in, and all I've been doing is just looking at my funnel, and when I say my funnel, for the people who are new to this space, who are new to the online space, when I talk about my funnel, is my customer journey, where they meet me. So I have some new people who probably have just met me online. Maybe you're just listening to me for the first time and you're new to my podcast. Welcome to Monetize Your Influence. I should have said that earlier. But I'm always feeling like I'm talking to people who already know me. You've been to the masterclass, then you got the email about come to my podcast, and you're here. So you know me. We got a vibe. We family now. We cousins. We family now. So I'm always talking to you like, hey, you on my couch. We just sitting out. We're just chilling. Okay. That's I'm always talking. Like, we just chilling. We've been knowing each other for some time now. So, I didn't put my phone on, okay. So I didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I'm about to do that now. So again, oh crap. Again, that's the idea. So when you put your launch your product out in the world, no matter what you sell, understand there are going to be some tweaks that you have to make, and that's okay. That's okay. Understand you're going to be some tweaks. So when I decided that I wanted to, when I decided that I wanted to create a masterclass teaching women how to use their voice to sell. Okay, I said, we're going to launch it. I'm not going to get an analysis paralysis because I'm going to be like, oh, change your color, change your image. This is this. This not something's wrong here. It changes. When I decided I'm going to get in that mode, I know me. I know how I get. So because I know how I get, I know I have to get out of that fast. So the first thing I said to myself, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. So I know with my team, we got to move fast. We got to move fast. And the reason why I try to move fast is not moving with immaturity when I'm launching something. I'm moving with precision, but I'm moving with the fact that I know if I think too long, I won't move. I won't move. And I promise you, I won't move. So knowing this and knowing who I am, I have to intentionally launch quickly. Not prematurely, but quickly. So when I set my mind up to something, inside of the master class, I talk about 4 levels. I talk about 4 levels of value. And I said, talk about one of the highest level of value is imagination. So when I get an idea, when I imagine doing a master class and you imagine doing something that's going to bring new clients to you, don't sleep on it, because your mind is going to be telling you all this stuff about why you can't do it, or why. First, it's going to be exciting. Okay. The levels of what you're going to go through. Let's write these down because you're going to need this. The level of what you go through when your idea juices start storming up in your mind. The first thing you're going to go through is excitement. This excitement that you're launching something new and exciting. Oh my gosh, I need to put out in the world. People are going to love it. That's what the excitement that comes to you. And then the second one that comes to you is, this is exciting, but now I got to think about all the things that I got to do, all the deliverables to make it happen. That happened to me all the time in the shower. I would get the idea, and then I think about all the moving parts that I have to do to make it happen. And then the moving part right then or right there is what make or break you. Right then or right there is what define if you are a CEO or if you're not. Right then or right there define if you are chosen to do the thing or if you're not. If you're ready to play small or if you're ready to go big. Right then and right there. How you choose whatever decision you make. So you start thinking about all the different deliverables, all your different moving parts that you have to do to make this happen. And your brain starts saying, okay, I don't think I want to do that. Okay, that's too much. Okay, and then right then and right there, what happens subconsciously, you just remove yourself from all of that. And once you remove yourself from all of that, you count yourself completely out from the results that you say you want, which was a reason for the idea come to you in the first place, because no idea come to you without the results. Whew, Jesus. Because the reason for you have an idea always follow with the results. But intentions, when you have intentions to do something good, distractions always follow. So distraction always follow intentions. So there's when you set out to do something good, there's always like, no, I'm not gonna let you do it. So how do you overcome that? How do you overcome that situation? I'm gonna give you some techniques for you to overcome. When you're set out to do an idea, something great, that like doing a masterclass, this is the perfect one to show people about your expertise and what you do. How do you get around all the things that may come up to challenge you from stopping you from doing? This is how I do. How do you stop? You want to put yourself out there. You want to create an event that help you to sell your expertise one to many. You talk to one person one time to many people to get them to see yet you are valuable and the value that you carry. And then how do I get them to do that? Okay, I'm going to do a masterclass. I'm going to do an in-person event. I'm going to do a challenge. I'm going to do all this thing. But once you think about, oh, I need a website. I need different things. Your brain started, okay, so how do I fight that off? Well, I'm going to tell you this, and it may not, wherever you are in your space, depends on how you're going to receive it. But for me, how I did it is I kept doing it. The challenge here is I want to get on the other side of my desire, of the things that I desire. But there's a big gap between how do I get there, the deliverables and all the things and all my capacity level to do it and to get the results I desire. So when I realized that, I said, okay, I look all the moving parts in the face and I said, I got you. Because here's the thing. I know one thing. And I'm going to pull up my whiteboard. I'm going to pull my whiteboard up. So if you are watching on my podcast, you're going to be seeing it on YouTube. So you can tune in on YouTube as well. But I'm going to put up my whiteboard really quick. Okay. This scenario is, I'm going to speak it out as much for my ones on my Monetize Your Influence podcast. So you can know as much as possible. When you're out to do something that may be challenging, that may be something that you've never done before. For me, that was running ads. I was running meta ads. Like, oh my gosh, I've never run this before. What does this look like? So when you're out to do something that's big, that's challenging, that you've never done before, it can be scary. Like when I decided, when my message was dialed in, because I don't believe you should be running ads unless your message is dialed in. And how do you know your message is dialed in? You can make money. I made $100,000 without running ads. So if people organically love what I was selling, it was easy for me to sell with ads because my message was already dialed in. I mean, one video alone, I had 1,000 leads with one video. One video brought in 1,000 leads. So, baby, I think my message is really dialed in. So when I add ads to that video, it just took off like wildfire. Okay, so let me give you an example with that. Whenever you're trying to do something that's scary, that's too big, like just so momentous for you, if you're hearing that, that's lightning. I don't know if my guy's going to clean it up, but that's lightning in the background. But we're good. We're good. We're here in Florida. We're good. So any task that you think is too big, maybe it's automation for you, maybe automation system, whatever it may be. Maybe speaking, whatever task you think is too big for you. Here's how you get over any task that is ahead. And you want to move through that task to be able to win on the other side. But it just seems like this big stone, this big gigantic stone is in the way and won't get you on the other side. Here's how because it's all about how you perceive it. Sometimes the stone is very, very small, but you perceive it in your mind as being huge. So the way you're looking at it, it could be very, very tiny, but the way you're looking at it make it seem like it's very huge. Okay, so let me get into this. So the first thing I say to myself is my step one in attacking a task or a challenge that seems bigger than me or bigger at hand than my capabilities of what I'm seeing, the first thing I ask myself, who else have accomplished this? So who else has accomplished this? And name some people. So I start naming some people that has accomplished this situation. That's the first thing I started doing. And I'm not talking about celebrities that has staff members and people to do it for them, right? Because our mind be like, they already got people who can do it. So when you're going to it, let me give you an example. When I started in the speaking space, I have a strong accent. I'm from Jamaica, of course. I have a strong accent. So for me to say I want to teach people how to speak and sell and with an accent, that's big for me, right? So I said to myself, who else is a dynamic speaker? Who else is a dynamic speaker that is confident in their speaking? And I remember there's a lady, and I wanted to give her credit. I can't think of her name right now. But she was always on Instagram, had a lot of followers, and she had a strong accent, and she's very good in finance. And she had a strong accent, but people follow her and listen to her financial skills and her financial knowledge. And she would deliver her knowledge about finances and speak very eloquently and deliver her message. So that get me the courage, because when you see somebody that look like you that's doing it, it gives you the courage to say that you can do it too. So number one, I said, who else can do it? Who else is doing it? Because once you know who else is doing it, it tells you that you can do it too. I do the same thing when I was running ads. Who else knows how to run ads? If somebody has to study it, that means I can do it too. Right? So that's number one. Number two, here is my other thing. And I shout out to Myron Golden, because I learned this from him. Number two, I look at the challenging situation and I said to myself, okay, this situation, if somebody else has done it, clearly there is a framework to getting it. There's a framework. That's number two, that go with dealing with this challenge. We're talking about how you attack challenges, how you look at it. So what is a framework that I missed, that I didn't see, of how to attack this thing? What does that framework look like? So I started studying patterns. So when I say framework, I started looking at patterns. Oh my God, I can't spell today. Patterns. I started looking at patterns, because success leaves clues. So I started looking at patterns. I started looking at patterns of people who got results. What was their patterns? I remember when I was getting ready to have a conference, a sold out conference. And before it was sold out, I started looking at my coach and see how she did her conference. And I followed her methodology and had a sold out conference, had a $105,000 a day conference. And I started looking at her methodology of her framework. How was she able to, what was the method she used to have that? And I rinse and repeat the process. So again, the framework. So someone who has done it for me successfully, what was the framework that they used? And number three, I also look at, along with, kind of go with the framework, but I also look at this thing. Maybe it's a system. Maybe it's something. I look at this thing and I always say to myself, this is my part. This thing does not have a brain, right? I'm the one with the brain. So I always look and say, okay, hold on. For example, it may be systems to get your message out, the automation system. Maybe that's what stopping you. Everywhere I go, I hear people say, I need system, I need automation, I need system. That's why inside of our virtual selling 7-figure challenge, one of the things that we do, we talk about system. We talk about how you take your masterclass. How do you package it, put in a system so you can always get in front of people constantly when you're doing your masterclass or your challenges. We teach you how that automation system. We're bringing a system expert that teach you exactly how to do it. Because here's the thing. My brain is like, hold on, this system, this automation, this CRM, customer relationship manager, the house people, email address and telephone numbers, all that stuff. Yes, it's great, and it helps you not to have to send out things manually, but this thing doesn't have a brain. I have the brain. AI don't have the brain. I have the brain. I tell AI what I want it to perform, and it do it for me, right? Sometimes I say, sometimes I'm talking back to my AI, and I'm like, listen, I said this and you said yes, and I said this and you said yes, so which one is it? Okay, because both of them you told me was great. But because, again, that it is programmed to like what I'm saying. So I have to reprogram it for it not to do that. But with a brain, that's not how a brain works, because I'm the only one with the brain. Thank be to God. But for now, right? But with that being said, I'm the only one with the brain. So when you're working on a system, most of the time, a system has a framework that is A, B, or C. Now, A, B, or C, that's the main part of the framework. Like when we have a framework that we teach you inside of our challenges, that we teach you when you're speaking, when you're pitching. These are the A, B, or C framework that you need to follow. Now, we may enhance it but it stays the same. In our masterclass, we talk about the 3-part framework that why you're missing your sales, why your words are not converting. And again, life changes, but the framework still stays the same. That's why no matter what year, what month, the course that you take with me, the information is still fresh because again, the framework stays the same. The content may tweak a little bit, but the framework stays the same. So once you know the pattern, going back again to the framework, once your brain adapt the pattern of how it works, like I'm gonna go deeper. Like for example, Facebook meta ads is campaign, ad set, and ads. That's it. Campaign, ad set, and ads. That's the framework. Now, they may tweak different things. But the basis of those 3 things that I just said in an ad stays the same. Same thing when you're speaking. When you're speaking to your target audience, we have frameworks that we teach you inside of our challenge that teach you exactly how to do that. So how to speak to communicate your offer and communicate your value so you can be seen as an expert. So you can be different from other people that are selling your offer. But again, that framework stays the same. Even if we change up the content, the framework stays the same. So when I'm going through a challenging situation and I'm trying to come out on the other side, I go to my brain, which is again number 3, and I say, brain, what is the pattern or the framework for this thing that I'm going through in life, whatever it may be? Once I figure out what the pattern or the framework is, I start attacking it at the root. I start attacking it at the root because I know the framework or the pattern won't change. Once I develop how the framework or the pattern works, and once I start working it to better understand how it works, to better understand how to navigate how that thing take place, how you get results from that thing. Once I start working it, once I just start going at it, just start working it. What happened is it went from being hard and difficult to anything that you keep doing over and over and over again. The hard and the challenging becomes a little bit more easier, a little moderate. I won't say easy, but a little moderate. So we went from hard to moderate. So we went from it being hard to moderate, and then you go to easy, right? So here's the thing. The only way you can move if you're constantly being challenged by the exact thing and you're working that thing that you're being challenged by, the only way you can move from being hard is to go into moderate and then go into easy. I want you to think about that. There's a lady, I think she was trying to take the law exam, and she said to me, she says she took it 17 times. She took it 17 times. And she's an older lady, and she finally passed the exam. Because guess what? No matter what, it was hard to begin with her, but she never gave up. She never gave up. So it was challenging, but the more she go there, the more she develop a pattern. There's another community where they were winning money. They were winning the lottery. And the reason they won the lottery is because over time of playing the lottery, they started to develop the pattern of how the lottery numbers worked. So that community, based on the lottery numbers they were buying and the pattern of how the numbers were coming out, they were able to constantly win the lottery in just that community. So why am I telling you this? What does that all have to do with anything, Sherry? What it has to do with is I want to challenge you that when challenges and things come up on you that you feel like you just don't know how to face, you just don't know how to go for it. And I'm also talking to myself too. when challenges come upon you and you just don't know how to move forward with that, I want you to use this framework that I'm giving to you. I want you to use the framework to say, who else have faced this situation? Because I hate to say this, but I love you with like the child of God. But baby, you're not special. I hate to tell you this, but you're not special, because no matter what you're going through, whether it's even if life has thrown lemons at you, somebody has been through what you've been through. Somebody has faced what you face. But Sherry has cancer. Somebody has faced what you said face. Sherry, I lost my mom. Somebody has faced what you said. Sherry, but my credit score is horrible. Somebody has faced what you face. No matter what you're going through, somebody has faced what you face and came out on the other side. And came out. Notice I didn't stay there. And came out on the other side. So you have to ask yourself, where can I find this person that has been through what I've been through? There's a lady I was listening to. She sells digital products. And she was talking about how she'd been to prison for selling been to prison for extortion and all sorts of stuff. And she said she served her time. And she served her time and she got out. She said, while I was in there though, I could do all sorts of stuff. But she said she started gathering different books, different business books. And she started reading the different books, this business book. Because she said, I could have came out and be angry and be upset with God. But she said, no, I came out as a changed woman. And I went to work. And that woman made $1 million when she came out. Why? Because she followed patterns. She followed a different way of thinking. So then your name, who else have done it? And then you create, so what framework do I need to adapt? What tangible framework, as in step 1, step 2, step 3, or what's intangible, as in it's not a physical framework that I can see. Maybe it's a behavior that a person have that I need to adapt. That's a framework as well. Do they wake up at 4:30 in the morning ready to go? What is the framework of that person who's successful that I need to follow? And number 3, when we talk about the brain, tell yourself that I have the brain. Whatever that challenge is, that challenge cannot beat me, because the challenge has to get weaker. The challenge has to get weaker as I attack it. It has to break down. It has to get weaker while I get stronger. If you're learning how to ride a bike and every day you go out there learning how to ride a bike, the first 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times when you fall down, yes, it's going to be hard and it's going to be embarrassing. I promised my girlfriend that I'm going to go live on TikTok. I did a chat. I said to her, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to go live on TikTok. I don't hang out at TikTok at all, because TikTok world is a different world over there. But I challenged her, say, yes, in the month of August, I'm going to go live every single day in the month of August. I'm going to go live on TikTok. And I've kept my promise, and I'm expecting to keep it to the month of August. Now, let me say this. When I got on there, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know who, because how I teach on my podcast and on Instagram and in my masterclass is completely different from TikTok. TikTok, they want to know what you eating, where you hanging out, what you doing. They want to be nosy. They want to be in your life. And I'm more about, can I talk about your belief system or your high value thinking, how you can transform your life? That is more me. But let me tell you something. I did not allow that to distract me. I gave them that. Plus, I also gave them my knowledge as well. So I learned how to engrade what they want to know, but also put my teaching inside of it as well. And today, I went from having 54 views on one of my live streams to having 500 views. And this morning, having 3K views on TikTok. And that's from me never going live. This was my 3rd time going live on TikTok. 3rd time going live on TikTok. Why am I telling you this? Because I use this framework that I'm telling you about. I said to myself, Who else go live on TikTok? Who else go? It may be scary and for other people who they may come for me in the comments. Who else go live on TikTok? Okay, I have a couple of girlfriends, mastermind sisters that go live. Okay, what is the framework? What is the pattern that I need to follow when I go live? Like what's when you go to somebody's house, you say what is the formalities there? How do they do? What do they do over there? That's what you do. Right. So I said, okay, it's not Instagram. It's not Facebook. So what's the formalities? When you go to somebody else's hangout spot, you got to know, when you're in Rome, you got to do So I had to find out what's the framework, what's the formalities when I go live over there. Because it's a different streets. It's a different online streets. And then I said, okay, brain, it's going to be challenging the first time because I'm still learning. But as I do it, because I'm the one with the brain, it's going to get easier. I don't know if anything that you keep doing that keep getting harder. I only way get harder if you stop and have to keep starting over. That part. So with that being said, this 3-step pattern of how to handle challenges and how to handle things that come up in your way. I hope this helped you. I'm about to hop off because based on when you're listening to us, we are still having our How to Get People to Say Yes to You Masterclass. It's a free masterclass. And I really, really would like for you to jump in it, but not just jump in it. Grab your success kit because your success kit is full of exactly that. Success, baby. So all of the thing you need is in the description. You can go to sherrymasterclass.com for all the details. And in the meantime, in between time, it's your girl, Sherry Summers. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one.